It was the first day of spring on Monday, so we just looking forward to just keeping that momentum. So this is Sales Chatter, the logistics podcast where we aim to help 10,000 reps hit a million GP. I'm your co-host, Ryan, aka the Logistics Monk. With me is my main man, President and CEO of RGTX Logistics Solutions, and the bodacious cowboy, Jeff Dickinson. How you doing this morning, brother?
Good, my man. I'll tell you, this week went by fast. I can't believe it. We're almost finished with empowering women into business this past week. And, we have actually two more guests joining us. So, with that said, let's just get into it. Let's go.
Welcome to the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly.
And you're correct, Jeff. Being able to speak with different women who are just killing it in their industry right now, and just to hear the different tips and tricks, every single thing, and the lessons. But the one thing I've learned, Jeff, is that even though we're in different industries, we do face the same issues and the same positive and the kind of doubt that we always kind of put into our minds as well. So this morning, we have an amazing guest. We're excited to introduce you to Sarah Delaney, the founder of Cirilla, an alcohol-free botanical beverage company, as well as the founder of the nonprofit organization Africa Healing Exchange. Sarah is a lifelong entrepreneur and a global activist. She founded Cirilla, an innovative company that creates delicious, amazing beverages. I've personally been able to try some of these sparkling tea beverages as well, and they're amazing. And I'm not a pot person at all, so I definitely recommend everybody to definitely try that out. Operating between Vermont, West North Carolina, and Rwanda, Sarah has been alcohol-free since the age of 28. And that's the one thing that I've learned, Jeff, personally, especially with the Super Bowl that just happened.
Hmm.
I was fasting from meat and alcohol for religious purposes during that time. And just to see the influx of alcohol-free beverages that are out there, it's amazing to kind of see that people who want to make that change. And Cirilla is definitely one of the top companies doing that. So with that being said, I know that she's launched Cirilla because we need that premium non-alcoholic beverage out there for people, because there's so many times I remember I've tried different drinks and things like that and they don't taste so well. It's like protein powder, right? You get what you pay for. So if you get those Walmart protein powders, we all know, I'm not it looks like we won't be sponsored by them anytime soon. But with that being said, it's amazing to kind of see the quality that goes into it. So with that being said, not just with Sarah coming on today, we have a powerhouse. We have our best friend. We got Lisa joining us all the way from California, and there's not enough words that we can say about Lisa, but I know she has kind of put us onto Sarah and the Cirilla as a product as a whole, and it's something that we're looking forward to having that discussion today. So, without further ado, Jeff, we are going to welcome Sarah and we're going to welcome Lisa onto Sales Chatter this morning. Good morning, friends. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good
Awesome. Great to
morning.
see you. Yes, morning. Happy Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us out of your busy day. I'm sure I know we have a lot to talk about. So let's just get into this. I'd love to find out more about your business, your trip to Rwanda, the relationship that you've had with Lisa, and also the relationship that Lisa have had with you. So please, platform is yours.
Great. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that introduction. That was really generous and you definitely did your homework. I really enjoyed what you said about the Super Bowl and just trying to make like healthier decisions. It is exciting to be really on this wave of a growing demand for alcohol-free beverages or alcohol replacement. There's lots of different terms being thrown around right now in the industry to even define this category. So I know that can probably be a little confusing for some people, but we are through and through like a sober-led brand as well. So this isn't for me in my life. It's not just a trend. It's not just something that we're doing because it's profitable or it's really popular right now. It's great that it is, but I've been living this lifestyle for almost 17 years. And when I quit drinking in my 20s, it didn't feel cool at all. It was definitely something I was even embarrassed about. I really thought my social life would be over. I wasn't married yet. And I remember thinking, like, what am I even going to drink at my wedding? Like, how am I going to have fun? No champagne ever again. Feeling sorry for myself, ashamed, just like really down. And so it's so awesome today to see that people are trying this lifestyle out, whether it's like alcohol free or just trying to moderate or reduce, just because, for health reasons, different reasons we all have. And I'm just excited that, like, no longer is it something to hide. Like, it's actually, there's so many great ways to have fun, without alcohol. So we're excited to be part of the movement. And we have 6 flavors. We've now recently done a line extension. So we have a couple of new botanicals, and they're caffeine free, calorie free. So I love drinking them in the evenings because I have a Tulsi chamomile, which really calms me. It has adaptogens, and it helps me sleep at night. And it's also like got this great dry finish, which goes really well with meals. It serves as a nice white wine replacement. It looks like champagne in a glass. So if we're out with friends, we still feel like we're fitting in. It actually adds like social comfort for the whole group.
And I that's the one thing, social group is really important because in social settings, I know last week was St. Patrick's Day across the world, and I remember my days of young days, and you're just having the green beer, you're having all that stuff, and then you wake up to a horrible hangover. And for me, it was nice to actually wake up Saturday morning and actually take my dogs to the dog park bright and early without having that hangover there. And it's really important. I know it's really being a women-owned company, and that's something that I think there's so much power to. And it's not just a only company. Like, you guys are winning awards. I know you guys won best packaging last year. And if you guys take a look at, I got a couple cans here in the back here, but if you take a look at the product, it's well done. It's in the see, there we go, and that's actually my favorite flavor right there. It's not just the see, and we got everybody here. Jeff is missing out. Sarah, you
Jeff.
did an amazing TED Talk. I looked at it about 10, I would say maybe like 10 to 15 times. And it's something that I aspire to be because I'm taking Toastmasters right now personally. And
Oh,
just to kind of see
congratulations.
what you've done. And for anybody we'll throw some clips and the link in the below as well. But it was talking about it takes a village, how community is the antidote to despair. Can you tell us a little synopsis of what that TED Talk was about, what it meant to you? Because it was done a couple of years ago, and the lifelong impact that it's had up until this day.
Yeah, it's really interesting that that was the last in-person TED Talk on the stage before the pandemic hit. I know they've come back since, which is great. So it's kind of interesting that my whole talk was about building community. There's a line in it that says, "Fill the well before you're thirsty," and that's not my original line, but I think that was really important for us to head into that very, for a lot of people, scary time. It could have been isolating for some people, to really feel that we had a community. It's so important, that we build that network, whether it's for business, personal. It's all connected as far as I'm concerned. And when I moved to Rwanda in 2009, and in retrospect, I think I was really on this searching journey. I was really um, looking to return to my true self. And I had quit drinking a couple years before, and that helped me to start really tuning in to who I was, who I wanted to be, what I needed to heal from my past in order to really live my best self, my best life. And quitting drinking was just one of the things that I did to start that journey. And then moving to Rwanda helped me take it to the next level, because I knew that the women in Rwanda who survived the genocide and experienced the most unthinkable, like incomprehensible things that I couldn't even imagine, um, that I had watched in documentaries. I knew if they had, were able to overcome that, then any of us could overcome anything. Like, as sad as it is, right? We all have a story, we all have a history, different traumas. We can't compare one trauma to another. It's all relevant. or it's all relative, but I went there to learn. I went there to learn about the human spirit of resilience, and people thought, "Oh, you're so, you're so kind. Like you're going to like be of service and build this nonprofit. Like it was some charity." First of all, I don't really believe in charity. Like to be, frank, I think like emergency services in crisis times are definitely serve a purpose. But I think if we have like going back to the it takes a village, everything's an exchange. And I know even on this platform, we're going to talk about that, like partnering together in the industry. It's always got to be an exchange and not one person always taking or one side always giving. And that was the spirit of my trip and moving there. So, yes, I've been offering some support services, some seed funding, emergency relief, and mentorship. And in exchange, my life was completely changed. And I've been able to tap into my purpose and my passion. And I just showed up there and I was like, okay, God, higher power, like, what do you have in store for me? I had an open heart and open mind, and I felt completely at home when I arrived in Rwanda in 2009.
And that's amazing. And what I saw in the speech, Sarah, was that I think on a future trip. You landed in Africa the day that Obama won, I believe, his presidency. So just I can't even imagine the emotions that are going through there. For amazing to see the continent that Obama came from and his family and so on. So
Mhm.
for you, actually, I would love to get, because I know you guys do from crop to cup, an annual trip to look at sustainability and the supply chain. And Lisa, I'd love to get your opinion on your thoughts, because you actually took that trip. So can you give a little bit of details of what that trip looked like, what it means to you? And I know it's only been a couple months since you've been, but what do you feel right now as you've done that trip?
Right now, everything that Sarah just said, it's like going back to kind of my decision making process of getting on that plane and going to Africa. I'm on this journey of finding my purpose, and can it have a play in me, choosing to stop drinking 2 years ago? How does that play out? And what are the lessons I'm going to learn? And so I was feeling just super, I don't know how to describe the word. And like I wrote some notes down. Just one of the things I didn't talk about last week on the call here was the some of the specific moments, and the most impactful day that we had, Sarah, was when I felt like it was a jam-packed day, but we started off going to the sewing co-op women. So we got up, we were just super jam-packed, met with these women. That was amazing to see what everything that you've had a hand in there. We picked up uniforms from another local co-op for the women, the farmers, so that they can have that prideful feeling as they're working in the farms. And then after that, we met the women from the farm. That was thrown in kind of on the fly the night before, to have them meet up at a fancy hotel. And we wanted to empower them, not show them how to do it all, but show them what's possible. They didn't even know that their local tea could, they didn't know the impact that locally, how much of an impact them locally and what they're doing can have in their local community. And so we were helping to show them and empower them. And Daniel was sitting around the table, and when we had tea served to us, he was our translator as well. And he said, they are excited, they're empowered to work harder, just for locally. And so it was just an awesome day. Later, we met with the Rotary president of Rwanda. And then at the end, we went and had dinner with Daniel and his family, where I had brought an entire duffel bag of clothing and hand delivered all that for their family. And just that feeling of joy, it was like I I've never felt so happy and excited. Like I got tears in my eyes. Like it was just an incredible experience. And that was the most impactful, empowering day we had that out there. And I talked about it on LinkedIn as well. You can check that specific day, but that was super special to me.
You know, Lisa, you you've been following the show for a long time, and I can read people pretty well. And just a moment ago, it seemed to me that you were getting a little emotional.
Yes.
How important is your relationship with Sarah and what she brought to you and what you brought to her?
Very, very important. I am excited where our future is going together, how we can collaborate in creating win-wins, exchange of freight referrals, and then bulk tea exchange, and how I can share with my network success of Cirilla. And it's not even because she's a freight customer. Like I didn't have my initial outreach to her to try to get her freight business. It was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about what you're doing and I have to meet